Welcome to the Undrafted Uncensored cast of Pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanker. And last but certainly is least, this guy, Joseph Goodwin.
What's really funny is I heard none of that.
Well, we're ready to go, Nick.
I know. I was waiting for the song and it never came on. And welcome everybody to the Undrafted Uncensored, where apparently my computer is not going to play along today. I was waiting for the song to kick in. So I was on Instagram waiting. And then I heard Joe say this guy. So I assumed we could go live on Instagram. And I came over here and still no music. But at least I'm not telling a bookie what games to bet on against the Toronto Raptors.
I mean, you could. You don't play for them.
Yeah. I mean, you could. Now, if we're getting into high school softball, then there might be some issues.
Nah.
You got that inside track.
Yeah, it's still hard to get any inside track.
Yeah, you have to make your own action, too.
Yeah. Got to be a coach or something like that. It's would be like us betting on the Browns games beforehand.
Yeah, in the stands with like the parents, like, hey, I bet that kid, fucking, I don't know, gets out. I was gonna try to say some baseball terms I didn't actually know the meaning of. So
we used to in high school bet in the last 2 minutes on the clock ending, like what time the clock would stop. We would all put like $1 in the stands. And wherever it would end, whoever got it right would get the money, or just get returned to everybody. Denver Christian High School underground cheating scandal. Here we go.
There it is,
breaking it 21 years later. Everybody,
love it.
Watch out.
I ran a small gambling ring at my high school. We did $2 to pick all the games, and I didn't actually have any money. So luckily I just took everyone else's, and then thank God I won.
So what you literally did was a Ponzi scheme.
No, I won.
Yes, you took everyone's money, and you used it, and you got lucky that you won, or else you would have been short, paying people off.
No, I would have just fucking figured it out. But
you
this
did
was
Ponzi.
This was not going to keep going.
You ran a mini Ponzi scheme.
Oh, you're right. No, I'm thinking of pyramid scheme. You're totally right. Sorry.
You ran a Ponzi.
No, I didn't. I'm like, I had nobody underneath me. There was no multi-level. Like, wait, that's a different scheme.
Joseph Goodwin, the not very smart Ponzi scheme, man. But smart enough to get out before you got caught.
No, I won. That was it. We did it one time. Because
Joe's the perfect guy to do that, though, because like you look at him and he's so honest all the time that you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll give you my money for this bet, and then
I was gonna come up with $2 if I fucking lost and throw it into the pool. But
that's what they all said when it came time to be payday.
But yeah, exactly.
Off.
Yeah, luckily I kept it at $2. Those guys, those high school kids went up to like $4 or $5. That was too rich for my blood.
Hey, I know we kind of kicked things off. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to my sister. 2224 under 24 days. Congrats, sis. I love you. You kick ass. So good work.
I'm sorry, what? I'm not sure what that means.
My sister is at 2224 days. She sent me a picture the other day.
Very nice.
No booze, so she's kicking ass, taking names.
Sober. Gotcha.
So good work on her end. Well, I can give her a shout out before we get into
definitely.
Before we get into shouting out the local teams who are doing something good, huh?
No, but that's more important. That's a real.
So what is that, like 7 years?
It's close. It's close to it. Yeah, it's got to be. I didn't do
Nick
the math.
with the math.
Yeah,
I rounded around a little bit, but I'm not sure if my rounding is rounding right.
Hey, you did it in your head, and you didn't use your phone. Good work.
Not because
6 years, just over 6. Maybe exactly. I don't know. It's 6.08, but there's like so leap years in there, so maybe.
Well, and I did 2200 by 300.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, it's about 7 years ish. Trying to play
6 years.
I didn't play far enough down though, but congratulations to her. That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's an accomplishment itself. Definitely deserves a pizza party.
Pizza party.
Pizza party.
I'll figure something out.
Yeah, when's
coming up?
when's your next anniversary, Colin? We're having a pizza party.
It is July 31st.
How long would that be?
Oh, sick! That's coming up.
How long would that be? How long?
4 years.
That's not quite pizza party yet. You're not at the 5.
Not
We'll
quite pizza party. maybe you'll get me a Totino's that I can cook myself.
We'll take it to McDonald's for a Happy Meal.
Dude,
that might be more expensive than a pizza party.
We'll go buy you a coffee, which also could be more expensive than the pizza party.
like to be honest.
Now go get you those $1 microwave burritos.
There you go. Some little Tina's or whatever they are.
Dude, Tina's burritos where it's at.
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah.
They're not quite the little wands, but man, the little wands were the best.
I don't remember the brands. I just remember I worked at a gas station, so I'd grab there were certain ones that were fucking really good, and then there was certain ones that were ass, and there was very little in between.
Yeah,
except for the bomb. That one was like just average.
Yeah, but it's grande, so
yeah,
it's a big meal.
Grande gigante.
Speaking of gas, you know what's so underrated? The gas station hamburgers. The gas station hamburgers that you put in the microwave for like a minute and a half, they're actually pretty damn good.
Like from 7-Eleven?
Yeah. Like they got the cheese on it. After you put them in the microwave, the bun is nice and fluffy. It's a pretty underrated buy.
See, bread's
for
such a
cheap burger.
nice microwave though.
I'm telling you, I've never had a bad one from the gas station. It's a very underrated, quick, easy meal.
I think back to those high school cheeseburgers you would get, and they just had a weird kind of I would do it with the chicken from the gas station, but I don't know if I've done it with the burger because it feels like it would be wrong. Yeah, like Nick said.
Yeah, no, go get one of their frozen ones, pop it in the microwave for a minute and a half, you're good. This isn't like Encino Man where it's nuclear warm on the outside, but freezing ice cold on the inside. Squirrely Man.
Oh, man, good reference there.
I'm opening the pod with that.
I love it.
Man. All right, well, the opponents have been set. The Lakers are due to be in Denver now. And Bron is still trying to pretend his super team can win a championship since they won the in-season tournament this year.
Super Bron.
They already won something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the in-season tournament. Yeah, they don't need to win more things. They're good.
I mean, we're all tired of the Lakers anyway. You know, having grown up here, Laker fans, Lakers. I mean, everything about LA is annoying. How far do you think this series goes? Because, again, it's playoffs. For whatever reason, LeBron seems to find another gear. AD will probably get hurt at some point. And the Nuggets' second unit starting to find some life.
I feel, it's going to be interesting, man. Like, there's definitely more X factors than there were last year. And the Lakers have kind of found some more offensive efficiency and output. They've had some pretty good offensive games since the All-Star break. So they feel like a little bit different of a team than last year, where it was all defense, paint scoring, and then a little bit of threes. Like, their offense kind of hums right now. So it's going to be a more interesting, different series. But I would like to channel my inner prophet and make a prediction real quick. As a reference to last year, Nuggets in 4.
I was gonna say before you go there,
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a hard fought series, but I'm with Joe. I'm going Nuggets in 6.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think it goes past 5. In fact, I don't even know if it gets to game 5. To be honest with you, the way the Nuggets are playing it on a roll right now, I'd say 5 just because the Lakers. You got to give LeBron
still
one game. But I'd still be probably surprised if that one game that they win is by anything more than 5 points.
We talked about you just mentioned it was controlling LeBron and AD, and I talked about in the first series. You control Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Let the other guys freaking beat you. I mean, Kevin Durant took himself out of the game with 7 minutes left in the game. Like he was not playing. And that's what I'm talking about, taking LeBron and AD out of the game. Like you just mess with them to the point where they quit. I mean, quit. They don't Andrew Luck it, but that's a story for another day.
Wow.
They get so out of sorts, and that's what the Nuggets did to Booker and Durant in the last series. You could tell that they were not comfortable playing, and that meant all aspects of the game.
He'll probably dominate one game and he'll sneak another one away, but the Nuggets will end up pulling it out in the end.
You know what? Screw it. The Prophet's saying Nuggets in 4.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Well,
I'm tired of the Lakers. Get out of here with that noise.
The Prophet's already ready to go, so let's go ahead and move on.
I couldn't just cut that part fast enough. I was trying to get just the end, but yeah.
I was saying that was a lengthy.
It was some time on Facebook too.
Yeah, I had to remind Nick about it once it was set.
We did need to keep the Andrew Luck joke. That was important.
Very important.
Yeah,
very important to continue to pile on Andrew Luck, much like defenses did.
That was perfect. I'm so glad I got my prediction out right before you showed the old one. That was great. But yeah, I'm excited for a tough series, but fuck it, dude. Nuggets in 4.
Yeah, I think the one way that this series goes is probably 5, because last year we saw what happened when the Nuggets played Minnesota. I think they're a little bit more prepared for it, but the first round is when the let-up happens for this team. I think it's just some of the rust may be coming off. They're a little bit more susceptible early on, and I really think going back to LA, maybe not game 1. So a lot of people I hear saying game 1 is the game where LA could steal one. I think it's really game 3 back in LA. That's going to be the toughest game of them all, because especially after the "Who's Your Daddy" chants last year, and just all of the crap that was talked. I think that crowd in that arena it's going to be unlike the Nuggets have seen before. Like, it was kind of rowdy last year, but I think Lakers fans were a little bit more resigned to losing. This year, there's still hope. The Nuggets haven't been the same dominant force that they were last year.
Yeah, but is that really stealing a game when you're winning your first game at home? I feel like their chances to steal a game would be them winning in our house and actually getting a 1-up. I feel like those are the games, even though this is a heavily favored series for the Nuggets. So you could argue. So I guess them winning any game is stealing a game.
That's what I'm saying. Is winning any game is them stealing a game, because the Nuggets should win all 4. They should win 4-0.
I agree.
But I don't think that it'll be. I don't think it'll go that way this year.
No, I see. Maybe, like Joe said, stealing a game would be winning 1 in Ball Arena, and I think if that's going to happen, that might be a game 2, because the Nuggets come out in game 1, they dominate, and then they feel like they have that 4-game sweep already in the bag, so they kind of coast into game 2. And it's not going to be, the Lakers aren't going to blow the Nuggets out. Don't get me wrong. They'll keep it close. It'll be like the San Antonio loss where if you hadn't been lazy and stupid and actually played a little bit, you would have won that game.
Played a little bit in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Luckily, that was not the game that I got to watch. Because the Nuggets really, they did show this year. I was going to say something about it being game 3 and then the third quarter woes for the Nuggets. But honestly, for the Nuggets this year, it's happened. It happened in the Spurs game, but they really haven't had those same mental lapses like they have in past years, at least to the same extent. It seemed last year and even the previous years, you would go in and have a 20-point lead, and it would be down to 5 or less within 4 minutes of the third quarter starting, or halfway through the third quarter. And like I said, the Nuggets, it still happened, but it does happen to every team. But it feels like the Nuggets have gotten better about that, while not outright getting rid of that issue. They have gotten better.
Yeah, it's been a definite improvement. I mean, and then you look at Swatson and Brown, and those two are really starting to play off each other too. I mean, you're looking at some of these oops that they're getting each other and from other teammates. They're working it well so that they're working it well so that you know Joker's not going to beat you. They're going to beat you as a team.
Well, that and with what Peyton was talking the other day about his experience and his growth from last year to this year and being more involved. It seems like he got more involved as this season, him and Christian. It feels like Reggie Jackson. Maybe I'll do this again. I'm doing the reverse curse. Reggie Jackson has started to kind of break down or lose it a little bit. And then Christian and Swatson both have stepped up in recent games. I feel like this Nuggets team going in is really they found their niche, and we'll see the what was it 6 total minutes last playoffs for DeAndre Jordan. We had something like that in last year's playoffs. I think we found a rotation that it's going to be obviously without injuries or anything like that, knock on wood. But I think that the Nuggets they're just ready, and for them to end up in the number 2 seed and to have to end up playing a team that played in the playing game in the Lakers, that's one more game on old legs. That not necessarily, I don't want to say hurts them, but I don't think it helps them as much as them having that extra day of rest would have if they had been the 6th seed. So, or the Lakers had been the 6th seed is what I'm saying, not had to play in the playing game. So we saw it too. We saw Zion get hurt at the end of the game that they played in the first game.
Yeah, he couldn't handle LeBron.
Couldn't handle LeBron. The Pelicans were going to win that game if Zion didn't go out.
Dude, it was going down. Like that was the Lakers still obviously had a chance, but like that was, Zion's his best career game, and there was still like 7 minutes left or something like that when he went out. Like, dude, that's too bad, but they got to win. They're going to the playoffs without Zion, which is like that's just classic Pelicans. Here we go. We got the 8th seed, and we lost Zion Williamson. What's good?
About the Pelicans going into the playoffs.
Oh, I know we all agreed. Yeah, that was it's they did it last year without Zion, and they were a solid team. They're a good team. Their coach is solid. Good old Willie Green from the old Lob City Clippers. But yeah, it's just it's rough. But you're right, and that's going to keep taking a toll on the Lakers players for sure. Like I was listening to Chris Broussard last night, and they're talking about, did you notice LeBron forgot his Just for Men in the beard, and it's showing a little bit of gray. And like, ooh, we got gray beard LeBron over here.
Well, he's not spraying on top either, because his little Jupiter storm was starting to show up there in the back of his melon.
His Jeff Green.
Yeah. I was like, oh, somebody forgot to spray today.
Yep, LeBron James is becoming the graybeard, but Anthony Davis is not the Dragonborn. If you've ever played Skyrim,
I remember this time.
I have not played Skyrim, but no. I just think that I just really feel the Nuggets. They do have the Lakers number right now. Mm-hmm. This is the reversal of fortunes for the Nuggets, where every time that the Nuggets were playing the Lakers when it was Kobe and Gasol and all those matchups in the 2000s, it was always like, well, the Nuggets have to get lucky to win this.
Yeah.
There was one time where you felt they had a chance, but it was really like it was still like 60-40 Lakers were going to win.
Yeah,
against the Nuggets. And so, but now those roles have totally reversed, where it's the Nuggets that are like the 90 and the Lakers are the 10%, where they got to get lucky. And it can happen. I saw a stat the other day of how many more free throws the Lakers have in comparison to every other team, and it's kind of unreal.
Dude,
so for the Nuggets, it's hit your free throws. Just take care of business. Like, don't get into the extra crap because LeBron and AD and Rui are going to try and get into some mental games with you too. Because Hachimura, you can tell he was getting on some nerves last year.
Oh yeah.
So you got to play your game. Don't be strong mentally, and they should walk out of the series. Joe, I love 4. I really do. I hope it happens. I hope you're right. I'm actually going to bet on them winning in 4-0, and then I'm going to bet on them winning 4-1. But I feel like that the Nuggets were that team of destiny last year, and the Lakers weren't going to stop them. And I feel like it's going to be a little tougher road this season in comparison to last year. Although I don't think it's going to be difficult. I think it'll be more tougher.
Yeah, I think so. The Lakers' depth is also better. Bringing in Christian Wood, another bigger guy. He's not very good at defense, but it's another big guy to throw at Jokic. So it's another guy to give him a different look, to add multiple bigger players, and he can shoot. Cam Reddish, another decent shooter, although I think Cam Reddish is out, I want to say. But, they have solid quality depth. They're kind of figuring themselves out, where last year it felt like more of a streak and like, well, fuck it. These guys seem to be working. And then, we just exploited D'Angelo Russell. But, yeah, no, they're set up a little better. But, yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like they're going to be able to really do too much. But, it does rely on a lot of, fortunate things. That bench has to stay on their hot streak that they've been on, very recently. Because even, a couple of weeks ago, they were looking not great. And then all of a sudden, past, few games, it's been like, hell yeah. Now we feel like we have something. That needs to continue. Everyone needs to stay relatively healthy. They need to be able to score not just in the paint, but continue to be able to score in the paint, because Anthony Davis is going to, clog everything up. But the Nuggets still are one of the best paint scoring teams in the NBA this year, which is kind of fun, because last year it felt like they were more of a shooting and everything else kind of team, where this year it's like, no, we're just going to throw lobs to Aaron Gordon and you can't stop it. And then Jokic is going to score. But I think a lot of that too is a symptom of Murray being out for a lot of games too.
Well, I'll go into it real quick since you brought it up. Here's the injury report. Anthony Davis, LeBron James are both probable. Jalen Hood, Shafino, Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt, and Christian Wood are all out. So the two guys you mentioned aren't even going to play any factor in tonight's game. So
great news.
And Vlatko, who we all don't love as much as Joe, but he's obviously still out.
No, he's my favorite. If I had
Vanderbilt was spotted in a walking boot, and I don't have anything on Christian Wood, but Hood, Shafino, Reddish, Vanderbilt, and Wood are all out. So that depth, say adios to that, Joe. Sorry, your take just got blown up.
That's fine. I love it. That's a great thing. Also, Vanderbilt is out. Holy shit. Vanderbilt is one of the best defenders in the NBA.
He only played 29 games this year.
That's crazy. So,
he's been out most of the season. Yeah.
So maybe he tries to work himself back, but he's not going to be he was the comparison as the modern Dennis Rodman, where it's just defense and rebounds and athleticism and not super tall, can sort of score, doesn't always. Obviously much younger and not quite as established, but him being out is huge for the Nuggets. That means that everything on offense is going to run just a little bit smoother more often, because they don't have one of their best defenders.
Well, sorry to tell you too, Jeremy Sochan is the new Dennis Rodman.
Jeremy Sochan.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, just because of the hair.
Sochan. Yeah, because of the hair, and he plays for the Spurs. That's
true. But he's not getting. You know what? Yeah, no. Everyone was talking shit about him with the Spurs because they tried to put him at point guard. It's like putting Dennis Rodman at point guard. Come on.
Stretch. Anyway.
Yeah, let's stretch it out to the odds.
Yeah, let's move it on to the Avalanche now, who showed up in dominating form again on Thursday night, even though they already locked in the third place spot. Really, it was only the first period they showed up to dominate because that was all they needed. Georgiev, no, Juice was in net. I'm sorry. I don't want to take away from Georgiev. Juice was in net. Only allowed 1 goal. Who starts in net for the Avs in the playoffs? Colin, you look like you're ready to go.
Well, I gotta say, let's be honest. They showed up and played. The Oilers didn't play 5 of their stars.
Yeah, their whole
they might as well have been playing the Eagle Ange team.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I got back to my hotel room. I'm sorry.
So let's get full context. Hey, they won the game. They crushed. They dominated from jump or from puck drop.
Again, I'm sorry. I didn't read the who's out report. I was watching a minor league baseball game.
I just wanted to give the correct context to them winning 5-1. But Choo Choo Train scoring 2 goals. He looks like he's set for the playoffs and ready to go. Mikko got 1. McKinnon breaks the all-time points record for an Avalanche player takes it from Peter Stastny. So now all Stastnys in the Avalanche books are off. No one's going to remember that number 1 pick that they used on another Stastny that didn't quite pan out during some lean years.
He wasn't leave Paulie alone.
I know they got that was part of the Duchesne. That was part of the Duchesne captain's years. That was bad. That was very unorganized. But for the Avs, who starts in net? You give it to Georgie because he was the default starter for the year. But I think you have a quick hook if you're Bednar because of what Eustace has done, especially as of late. And I think that if there's any slight injury or opening, this is a oh my goodness, why am I blanking on the name? The injury. Where an injury loses your job.
Oh, Wally Pitt.
Yeah, this is a very Wally Pitt moment for Georgie. If you show any sign of injury, I think that Bednar will be quick to put Eustace in, and you might not play again for the rest of the playoffs unless Eustace has a terrible game.
Or if he needs to rest or whatever, because we've seen them kind of go multiple goalies sometimes just to keep the other guy fresh.
That was only because Darcy had the eye issue. Kemper had the eye issue in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't to keep him fresh. He just couldn't see the puck, literally.
Well, but you couldn't see the puck the rest of the time either. It just worked out.
What, you need to see to play goalie?
Well, he was having trouble seeing it. It was like, what did he say? He said it looked like
he said he couldn't see it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was like blurry. It was all blurry. So, but that's what I'm saying for Georgie. Things have to go right for him. Not only in net but health wise. If he gets injured, I don't think Bednar goes back to him, especially if Eustace wins some games, much like Francouz did in the playoffs for the Avs 2 years ago, because there was talk about keeping him in net over Kemper. Yeah. So
he played well.
Kemper was the right choice. Bednar, pushed the right buttons, but I don't think this year there's going to be the same uproar to get Georgie back in net, even though he was an all-star. Kind of makes you.
Wait, Georgie was an all-star this year?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We kind of talked about this. Yeah, it's like, but it kind of makes you think how bad the goaltending really is this year, and how important that this offense has been for this team. Because
I guess he has had a slump recently, but damn, that's crazy.
Recently, his slump has been since the break.
Since he was an all-star.
That's and I hate saying I.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm thinking. I've been thinking he's been struggling all year, but no, it really has just been. Yeah, I guess more than recently.
Well, he wasn't great before the All-Star break. Like I said, the NHL overall has not had great goaltending this year. When you think back to a few years ago when it was Vasilevsky, Binnington, Shesterkin, they're quick. I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury. There were some really great goaltenders and performances, and we haven't really seen those this year. It's definitely the offenses have come to play, and you can see that by the numbers put up by many players.
Well, then I guess just score more points than the other team. That did you win the game. So, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily, it feels like the way you kind of have to go, especially from like a hierarchy standpoint, from a locker room standpoint too. Like you got to give Georgie that one more shot, unless Georgie has totally lost the locker room, which I don't think he has. Then you have to give him that one more shot. And they'll still, appreciate him and everything if he gets benched, because they'll need him as a backup, obviously, and stuff too. But like sometimes benching a guy too early can actually cause more problems and more ripple effects with the rest of the team too. So it's at this point, I've just accepted that that's what's going to happen, is that Bednar is going to start Georgie. But I agree with Colin that that's going to be a short leash. Like you can't afford to. I mean, obviously you can't afford to go down 3-0. I know it's happened before in hockey, right? Which it had never happened before.
It's happened. No, it's happened a few times. It's happened in hockey more.
It hasn't happened.
Baseball was the one where it never happened until the Red Sox did it,
and basketball still hasn't. But for a 3-0, but like I don't know, man. I don't think that's gonna happen. It's just there's so much momentum. You're not gonna go into somebody's house and beat them that many times. But yeah, man, it's gonna be tough. And the sad thing is that we might find out that it should have been in the whole time. But we'll be down a game or two potentially. Hopefully not. And we just gotta hope everything works out. But yeah, it's gonna have to start out being Georgie. How long do you think he gets to stay in if he's not playing well, but the Avalanche happen to be winning?
Oh, he'll stay in.
As long as they're winning, he's staying in.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't mess with that chemistry.
Okay. Word. So then I guess all we can do is win.
Yeah. Yeah. If he has a bad game, then you pull him, and the Avs lose.
And yes.
I mean, like I said, it's kind of dependent. If he looks like he did against the Jets the last time they played, that's trouble. Because what was that? Was that the 6-1 game, I think, or was it a shutout 6-0 where he got pulled after giving 3 goals in the first period?
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Let's not have any of that. Yeah, no, fuck that. But yeah, from what I understand, the Jets are a much more deep team, even though the Avalanche have the top end best players. But like we've been saying all year, they're still pretty top heavy. So it's really going to be the question of, can those top guys overcome that overwhelming amount of depth that I heard a guy on the radio tell me that the Winnipeg Jets have.
I mean, it is true. They do have it. Yeah, it was 7-0 was the last game against the Jets. That was at Ball Arena.
Put up a touchdown.
Yep. Yeah, they scored 4 in the first period.
That's not ideal.
No.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, they play tomorrow. The Avs did us a little bit of a favor, though, because at least there's some time in between Nuggets and Avalanche games, so they're not both at home at the same time.
Oh, cool.
So there's that favor, at least. If you can afford to go to either one of the playoff games.
Yeah, they get the roadie to start. But also, I mean, there's 2 days worth of games. Nuggets start tonight, and Avs get to play tomorrow.
Yep.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, no.
No, let's not ask that right now.
We know the answer is everything. The answer is always everything.
Perfect, because what could possibly go wrong is your multi-million-dollar first baseman goes on the IL again for back stiffness.
Once that happened, I sent that to you guys right away once I saw it. Because the second it came across the wire, I'm like, well, there goes the home run chances.
I was sitting in class in my training this week, and I looked at it, and I got the update, and then 3 seconds later, I got your text. I was like, I hate everything.
Right after you're like, oh, Chris Bryant is starting to get hot.
I know. I'm like,
maybe he's turning it on. Nope, no, he's not.
Nope. Playing too hard.
Oh.
It's so well. I mean, the only thing I like about it though is that it forces Bud Black to have to play the kids. I mean, because that's what we're getting at this point. So let's get them out there. Let's figure out what you have. And I mean, obviously, you got to fill holes with the draft coming up pretty soon. Not that they'll do that right. But, I mean, it at least tells you who you have, where your talent is. I mean, Nolan Jones, you've got Tovar. There's some decent talent on this team. I mean, they need a legit veteran leader. Not that Charlie Blackmon isn't one, but Charlie's not the guy you need to lead this team.
Yeah.
You need somebody else that's like a journeyman that has won a couple World Series just by accident and can come in and help these guys learn. I mean, look at Giambi when he came in.
Yeah.
Giambi was the perfect kind of attitude that they needed because he was that total veteran. He'd been through some shit because of his steroid stuff. Still the only dude to actually just go, I did it. I'm bad. My bad. Sorry. I was more worried about me than I was anything else. And so, I mean, I respect Giambi still to this day. He's still my favorite Rocky. Second favorite. Sorry, Big Cat. Still number one. But I don't know. It's I like watching the kids because they're at least keeping up with some of these teams. I mean, they were keeping up with the Phillies. They're not gonna. I'm not saying they're gonna win, but what makes you feel better? Getting blown out 14-2, or keeping up with a pretty decent NL East team that will probably be at least a wild card team.
What will make me feel better? I said this before the season. What would make me feel better is if the team goes 0-162, and is terrible, and then
they have to play the White Sox, the A's, and the Tigers still,
which are all teams that are still better than the Rockies.
Not anymore. White Sox are 3-16.
The Rockies have one more win than them.
Yeah,
they're 4-15.
Technically, they're better.
They're still better.
Oh, man.
Miami's 4-16.
Oh, yeah.
That's everybody's surprise team, and I'm glad because everybody was all rooting for the Marlins last year. I told them that ship was going to come back to port at some point, and they have come to port pretty hardcore.
You did. I mean, the A's are better than the Rockies. Double better, and they don't even have a stadium to play in next year. I mean, the team just
the A's are different though. The A's are way different than the Rockies.
No, they designated two players because they talk crap about ownership.
Yeah, Tony Kemp and somebody else. I can't remember who.
They're no different funny. Or less. They're no less dysfunctional than the Rockies.
No, they're way more.
They're probably. No,
at least I know where my team's playing next year.
They're pretty dysfunctional. I don't know.
Yeah, at the bottom of the standings,
Sacramento. Yes. Okay. So seeing the young guys, yeah, that is nice. Tolia hit a bomb the other day, which was cool. Tovar. I like Tovar, but he's not an above average player. So he is an average player with an okay bat. He'll find some pop once in a while.
Yeah.
But his defense is average. You had to pay some guys, and you need some of those guys on the team. But McMahon has lost a lot over the last two seasons. You remember right after
this year, he's one of the solid offensive guys right now.
Well, what I'm saying, he was hitting bombs before. After Nolan left, there was one point where McMahon had more home runs than Nolan did after Nolan was gone.
Yeah.
And so he's hitting offensively all right, but he's still on the decline from where he was 2 years ago. I don't think his defense has always been same thing, average. This team is really just very average in so many areas, and in a lot of others, they're below average. And when you start saying, as much as Chris Bryant is overpaid, he's still a better option when he's healthy than a Tolia right now. But he isn't that great. And so, these guys need experience, like you said. I just what I want, what I dream, is for the Rockies to just keep losing. get the picks, have a terrible season, and people stop going to Coors Field. That's just we'll see what happens, because last year it was around this time where we had a storm like we have right now. And the attendance, everyone was like, oh, attendance is down. It's, it's because the Rockies are so bad. And it wasn't. It was because of the crappy weather. And both the Nuggets and Avs were in the playoffs, so people were distracted. So I'm curious to see what happens when the Rockies are, again, out of it that much this year. After both the Avs and Nuggets runs are finished, whenever that might be, what happens to attendance at Coors Field? I'm not going to put any stock into what's going on right now with attendance and people going, just because there's so many other things going on in the world of sports locally. Do you just won the championship? There's a lot of other stuff happening. DU men's lacrosse is ranked number 1 in the nation.
Yeah,
like there's other stuff, and I know lacrosse doesn't get a lot of pull here, but there's options to watch winning sports here locally.
Yeah.
So when the smoke clears, I'm interested to see what happens with the Rockies. Yes, I'm glad the young guys are getting play, but I also think that these young guys, they're not. Nolan Jones is the one who could be a superstar.
Yeah.
That's your one guy that you're looking at that, like, okay,
he could be ever had.
He could be a face of the franchise until he's traded away along with $50 million. But I'm worried that the Rockies pay him, make promises that they'll build a team around him, and then do nothing, just like they did with Tulo, just like they did with Nolan. Those years Charlie, they let go of
Argo.
They let go of Ottavino. They let go of LeMahieu. I mean, we've gone through the list of guys who have gone on to be successful at other places who they've let go of and not gotten anything for, and didn't build around their star players. And the excuses were, well, we don't have the money or whatever. But it's terrible. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Appreciate you. Hank the Tank Werewolf. What's up, man? I appreciate you.
Thanks for cutting me up, taking my line. I was just going to say. Appreciate you taking my line.
I didn't want you clicking on your keyboard.
Yeah.
Clickety clackety.
Sorry, I gotta get new set of headphones, okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, but we're gonna make fun of you because it's more fun that way.
Oh Lord.
It's because we love you.
And moving on real quick too. I wanted to bring this up only because I'm watching it right now. John Sterling, 36 years as the voice of the New York Yankees, announced his retirement this week. And it's going to be a little rough to listen for a little bit. Like when the guys fill in every once in a while, Shackle and all those guys, when they fill in, it's not bad because John's going to come back. It's kind of hard to watch him accept these gifts right now. He got a nice little microphone award thing. They just gave him a TV to be able to watch the Yankees. I mean, I don't know.
I was like, I can hear it in the background.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Damn, I thought I turned it down enough.
You're good.
Did you guys hear the cat in my background?
Nope.
No.
He was explaining something important.
Yeah, I mean, Sterling, it'll be weird for, Yankees fans to turn it on and listen much. I mean, anytime you have someone, Harry Carey, Euchre, like all these guys who have called so many games that and it's going to change.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he'll do some rounds and some tours and still pop up once in a while on games. But I mean, that's a voice of generations of baseball fans out there in New York. Yep. That's who you heard. And yeah, I hope Nick, your demo tape is good enough and ready to go.
I don't know if I want to be that guy. I don't know if I want to be the guy.
You got to have a weird voice though. Like you sound like a regular person. You need to get some kind of way to talk, like a Harry Carey or like a Howard Cosell.
No.
You gotta talk weird.
No.
Do a Brockmeyer impression. It'll be perfect.
It's a 70-cent beer night here at Yankee Stadium. Every strike is a beer.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And I'm looking to my left, and I see a small child with a gun in his pants and a dog with 3 legs looking at its own ass. And I'm gonna light my doobie early.
Yeah, that's one man I could never copy.
Nick, don't lie. If that job were offered to you,
Dude, I'm working on my demo right now. What do you think? The only reason I work on it yesterday.
You might not want to be that guy, but if they gave you the chance to be that guy, you'd be him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Just read random fucking Brockmire lines. It'll be great. And the count evens 2 and 2. And now back to my ex-wife. She never let me do anything.
They had, I think there was another MLB opening that was coming up, and I don't remember who it was. And they said major or minor league or associated baseball experience suggested. And I was like, I'm not taking your suggestion. I'm just going to submit a demo.
Send it.
What are you going to do? Tell me no?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were going to tell me that anyway.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Like I said, I just happen to be watching it because, I mean, you know, Yankee fan.
It's the East Coast.
It's John Sterling.
The game starting soon.
Yes, that too. So,
I mean, since it's starting soon.
Since it's starting soon and Colin has somewhere to go, I'm sure he would love to tell us how he did last week.
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Or sorry, least. Featuring Nick Archuleta, wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin, just kinda winging it.
That's right, baby. Victory formation time. And unfortunately, last week we all forgot the snap count in the victory formation. 2 of us won 1 game, and 1 of us got the big goose egg. We'll start off with the game that we all lost because we're stupid and chose together. That would be the Padres versus the Dodgers.
Oh,
we all
yeah.
chose the Dodgers on Sunday Night Baseball, like idiots. And the Padres won 6-4. We move on to the UFL, where the Battlehawks defeated the Brahmas. That netted me $18 in a profit, as Nick and Joe both picked the Brahmas to win that one.
Woo!
Both me and Nick chose the Mavericks to beat the Thunder. And if you watched the first quarter of that game, you didn't need to watch anymore because it was over, as Oz would say. And the Thunder dominated the Mavericks, securing the number 1 seed heading into the playoffs for the West. And Joe got that one correct at $16.10. That means the big winner of the week, or the lowest loser, was me, only losing $2.
Yeah, way to lose less.
Joe lost $3.90, and Nick lost all 3. That means minus $30.
Oof.
Joe, you're still in first at $341.66. I'm in second, just barely above $200 at $201.23. Nick at $181.21 brings up the rear. Let's get into this week's games. We have a matchup of dire proportions for both of these teams.
Whoa.
Dire, he says.
They are 0-3, facing off. Loser stays winless. Winner gets on the board for the first time this season. That is the Renegades versus the Roughnecks in Houston. Oh, Nick, I got to ask you, who you got?
I'm going to go Renegades.
I should say too. Yes, the Renegades are favorite. Did I not say it? Renegades
No.
are underdogs, minus 165. Renegades are favorites, 165. Roughnecks underdogs, plus 130. You're sticking with Renegades?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Joe, who you got?
Let's take the Roughnecks. Let's take Houston. Just cuz.
Just because
Yeah.
he's taking the Roughnecks. I'm trying to go back to our list and see. Oh, no. Actually, yes, I did. I the Roughnecks were my team that I chose, Houston, as my
Oh yeah.
as a team I'm rooting for.
My favorite team again.
I guess that means I'm choosing Houston. I was like, where's our list of teams that we're cheering for? Joe's got the Brahmas. Nick's got St. Louis, who you picked against last week, didn't you? No, never mind. That's the wrong thing.
No, don't worry. I had the same thought because I was like, oh, wait, Texas, that's me, right? No, I'm San Antonio. Yeah.
You're San Antonio. No,
Yeah,
Nick
that's
did
my
pick
real
against
choice.
his St. Louis Battlehawks last week.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You chose the Brahmas.
Who were they playing?
The Battlehawks.
Another.
Last week?
Yeah.
No, because okay. All right.
You can review the tape. I forgot that was your team. But if it is, then we both tied Nick last week. We move on to hockey. Round 1. Predators versus Canucks. Predators underdogs at plus 125 in Vancouver. Favorite minus 145. Joe, who I got?
I just want to say Canucks.
You just said it, so that's who you're going with.
Yeah.
I am going to take the Predators. Something I was talking at the school with the other someone I was talking this at the school with about was the Predators have been hot as of late. I thought they were going to be sellers. I thought they were getting rid of their goaltending. I thought they were getting rid of everything, and they turned themselves into legitimate contenders. So I'm going to stick with the Predators in this one, even though Vancouver is a much better team. Joe, or Nick, who you got?
In Nashville.
You beat me to it because I was going to say the same thing. So give me Nashville.
All right, we move on to Sunday night baseball. This is the Texas Rangers visiting the Atlanta Bravos, two teams who are the Super Bowl World Series, who have World Series aspirations. For this game, it is in Atlanta. I think the Braves are reeling a little bit, though, so I am going to take the Rangers on the road over the Braves. Nick, who you got?
Is it in Atlanta?
It's in Atlanta, yes.
It's hard to pick against the Braves at home, even if they are reeling. And it's Sunday night baseball. Give me the Bravos.
Joe, who you got?
To quote the great Aqib Talib, if I see him in Atlanta, I'm gonna whoop his ass. We're gonna take the Braves.
Wouldn't that mean that the Rangers would win? Because isn't Aqib Talib from Texas?
Sure.
I thought he was from Texas. I could be wrong, and they're going to be seeing them in Atlanta. So wouldn't Texas kick their ass? All right, well, we'll see. We'll see which one's right.
Go Texas Rangers every single time we pick a game with the Rangers in it.
Technically, you would have been right, though, saying we'll see him in Atlanta, choosing Texas there is what I'm saying.
I went to high school in Richardson, Texas.
Yeah, maybe.
I knew it. The memory bank, I might not remember a lot of shit, but I do remember some random facts about sports. And we move on to our last one of the weekend, special 4-pack Sunday night basketball. Or no, this is tonight's game. Excuse me. We have the 76ers underdogs at plus 130 visiting the New York Knickerbockers at minus 155 in the Mecca Madison Square Garden. Nick, who you got?
I don't know. Who is it again?
Philly and the
Sixers Knicks.
On Sunday?
Saturday. Tonight.
Oh,
it's tonight. Yeah, Embiid's back, but he's a little slow.
You know what? Give me the Knicks.
Joe, who you got?
This is gonna be like I saw a great video of the Sixers versus the Heat in the play-in tournament with Nick Nurse, who's one of my favorite coaches in the NBA, and Eric Spoelstra, and they called it basketball chess. And I feel like that's exactly what we're gonna get with Tom Thibodeau and Nick Nurse. I'm saying this to stall because I'm leaning towards Philly, and I don't have a great reason why, and I'm gonna go with Philly.
I am also going Philly in this game. I just think the injuries to the Knicks are too much with Embiid back. So give me the 76ers to win game 1 and steal 1 and possibly take this series in an upset of some sort. So, there we go. That is the victory formation. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Really?
Yeah,
you know, that's how we do it on a Saturday morning, a little early.
Well, fuck. Brew Crew. Is that a Milwaukee?
It's from Milwaukee. It was a very nice stadium, by the way.
Shout out to Alice Cooper.
By the way, since it's not playing, the music is going, Nick. Just so you know.
Thank you.
I can't hear. I just want you to know that it is. I figured that you probably didn't know the music was going, so we could wrap it up. I mean, I could steal the thunder and start wrapping it all up for you, but I don't want to do that twice in one show.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Thank you to Michael Spillin and everybody over at E5280sports.com for hosting us.
Yeah.
Get to check out our sponsor, Pikes Peak Sports Cards. And as always, like, subscribe, appreciate, hearts, love, whatever emoji you want to add to us. But tune in every Saturday. Colin, you have something?
Draft next week. We might do something. Guys. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we're doing. But the Broncos draft, we'll recap it all next week for sure.
Oh, we'll definitely recap. That's for damn sure. For Colin Zanker and Joe Goodwin, I am Nick Archuleta again. This has been the Undrafted Uncensored. Until next Saturday at the latest, we love you all.
Happy 420, everybody.
Congratulations, sister.
Yes, congratulations, sister.